Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Eddie Marcus again, spokesman and advocate of basic human rights for all people. Today's date is June 8th, I believe. It is the day that the ex-FBI head, Comey, went before the Congress to be interviewed, to state before the American public and the world as much associative information relative to himself and the presidential campaign of 2016 and Donald Trump. Now, since Donald Trump has become president, most people of the world know that Donald Trump is a liar. He lies. We can say that because all of us lie. But Donald Trump is uniquely a liar. Now, Donald Trump, being a liar, has a lot of supporters. Do they actually condone his lies? Not necessarily. They are just fed up with their experience as living in these bodies in America, the United States of America, at this time. They have waited and hoped for all of the presidential candidates prior to this and those who were elected, regardless of party, to do something to make their life worth remembering. And it has failed them. So right now, they don't care what Donald Trump does. For the rest of us, you know that Donald Trump has lied. But look at it like this. You remember when President George Bush was president and all the things that he and his administration did? You remember how they invaded Iraq and killed all of those people for whatever reason they gave us or whatever reason they had, they did it. You remember that? And they were talked about. In fact, those who were Republican Democrats didn't like it at all. And the media would say things and you would be excited when they put Bush down. And if they said anything positive about Bush, you couldn't stand it. It'd make you want to puke. You also remember when Barack Obama was president. You heard some negative things about it, but not that many. But if you went on the social media, you found that, according to that information, Barack Obama was dropping bombs on people everywhere, using drones, killing people everywhere, trying to take the United States into the New World Order as was George Bush, Clinton, and I'm sure Trump. All of these things, and it just made you Barack Obama lovers hate this information. Hate it, I know you did. It's felt all across the land. It's felt all across the world. And here we are today with the President of the United States, who is a known liar, and Comey, serving the people of the United States, taking an oath to obey the Constitution of the United States. And for all practical purposes, you have concluded that you haven't heard that many things against him, that many bad things about him that you could denounce. Maybe talking about Miss Clinton, if you were for Clinton in the election, he said those things about those emails that might have made you a little hot. And if you were a Republican, it made you hot that he's talking about Donald Trump because of your politics. But here I stand before you, one who knows the answer and have made his own personal choice how he's going to respond to the situation, but sharing it with you nonetheless. You got before you a situation in this world. When Comey says that Donald Trump was lying, you immediately knew that was true. Then Donald Trump's lawyer comes out and says that everything that's been going on, everything that Comey has said was a lie. Comey said, I went and gave some information because I wanted the rest of certain people to know about it, to protect myself. And they use that to say He's one of the leakers. He's one of the guys who should be put in prison, perhaps, for leaking. You can't let the devil's message out. Well, anyway, this is what the message is being put forth, and those who are against Trump are saying you can't let the devil's message out. And you, ladies and gentlemen, who do you believe? That's why they got you seeing that. Trump, Comey. Who do you believe? They're both calling the others liars, just like Clinton called Trump liars and Trump called Clinton liars. All you got before you is the devil. All you got before you is ugliness. All you got before you is evil personified. Now, if Trump and Comey are saying different things, one of them telling the truth, but you don't know which one. And based upon your politics, based upon the way you've been trained, your brains have been set, tuned. A Republican, you going with it. Unless they come out something to make you embarrassed. And you don't want to be nothing Democratic. So, except the process. And so here you are in the middle. And there's only one way out, ladies and gentlemen. And it's not the way that everybody goes. It's not the way of the mega churches. It's not the way of the majority. In fact, very seldom do people find the truth. And even then, even less follow it. Now see, what is happening out there is you being manipulated. You're being given a cast up before a screen, performing before you. And the way you've been trained, you're going to do exactly what they expect you to do. Because it really doesn't matter what Trump is doing. It really doesn't matter what is happening in Russia. The same thing is happening all over the world. A game is being played to manipulate, to control, and use you as they see fit. As these gods see fit. And they are only gods because you made them gods. They thought of the idea. They thought about deceiving you, and they came up with a scheme, and they brought it to you, and you accepted it. You accepted it in the United States. You accepted it in China. You accepted it in Rome. You accepted it in Africa. You accepted it everywhere human beings are. You've accepted it. And now to be cleansed in your outward expressions of life, you got to be cleansed inside. Ooh-wee. Now, how are you going to cleanse somebody who don't even know they're dirty? That's a very, very difficult task. And I pity the fool that tries to cleanse anyone other than themselves. So I say to you, ladies and gentlemen, that yes, if you were wise enough to sit the Republicans down, to sit the Democrats down, and stand up as people who were created by another power, not by any of these people here. You might try to give your mom and your dad some credit, but in reality, all of us are here because of another power that we can't even actually put our hands on. And we are all here on an earth that we had nothing to do with creating. And all of the things that we need to provide for our survival, it's here in the earth, are in our minds and in our hands and in our actions. It is all here. We know that. And we know that we create and we build all of those things that's keeping us alive, that's making us survive. And the outward forces are the things that's trying to destroy us, that's trying to kill us. The outward forces are the ones that's causing poverty, crime, and violence. The outward forces are the ones that's causing terrorism and war. The outward forces, but those outward forces are being dictated by somebody outside of us who can only move and do what they do when we be silent or go along with them. And we can only do that when we ourselves are contaminated and don't know any better. So the power that put you here knows that. Those who have awakened and moved on know that. And those who are awakening right now know that. And so they're not really expecting you to change. We're not expecting you to do the right thing as a nation. We're not expecting you to do the right thing as a people any more than anywhere else. In Italy in the past, in Germany in the past, in Rome in the past, everywhere that destruction has bestowed itself upon its people. I don't expect you to be any different because you're no different. You're all living in darkness. And when I say this to you, please don't look at me and talk about me in a negative sense unless you just can't stand the truth. I'm telling you this knowing that if you believe me, if you make any kind of change, that they will kill me because they don't want you to make a change. But what I'm trying to get you to see is by my willingness to be killed is not me being foolish, but I'm assuring you that I have ultimate, unlimited confidence in what I'm saying to you. It's not even about what's going to happen to me if and when they kill me. Am I going to heaven? Am I going to hell? Is there going to be a return to do this or that? That stuff is irrelevant. It's as irrelevant as I can ever imagine. Well, what is most irrelevant? What happens right here while I'm still here in the midst of this muddy cesspool. And it's not just about you, my friends. I got wife, ex-wife, and baby mom. I got daughters. I got sons, children right here, grandkids, nieces and nephews, sisters and brothers that's going through the same crap. Classmates, whether in high school, elementary school, or college, or those who are in the workforces together. These, my people, are people I know. These people suffer as I suffer, as you suffer. But it can only change if you change. Now for me, I have decided that in given opportunities where I have a confrontation with the system, when I'm talking about that, I'm talking about in a legal way, in a law way, I will stand before them, not contentious and angry and upset and pissed off with them, because I know the system exists, because it was something that was given to we the people. And we the people, whether we question it or not, we have always recognized that there's a built-in security code up in there. Don't start messing with us, because we'll kill you. And everybody knows from the beginning of time, somebody came to us and started talking about dying. You will surely die. You will not surely die. And it messed us up, because we don't know what's going on until you do. And when you do, you will change. And it's not, you don't care what the world does. You know how to make it beautiful. You know the role that you've been playing in it, in its ugliness. I don't care how good you thought you were. And you can see that now, because you have had your eyes open and you can see clearly. What I mean is, when I say you can see clearly, you can see how all of the things that they want to accomplish can be accomplished without any of that junk going on. And rather than give that one breath of fresh air, you turn your back on it and give this all you got. Because now you are physically, as long as you can maintain it, an expression of the love of God. You're not just talking, you're building heaven, thy will on earth. Bye-bye.